Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 128. Tonight we are reviewing Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. First things first.
Sure.
Quick shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Trywink.com/moviebitches and you get $20 off your first month. It's perfect for Christmas gifts. Wink, get it? Oh, sorry about it. So this movie, can we call it a movie?
It was a movie.
It was bad though.
Preface. I read all the Harry Potter books.
I did not.
I've seen all the Harry Potter movies.
I did not.
So I was watching this thinking, oh, this must be what it was like to watch the Harry Potter movies having no context and having not read the films and having, because like I was like, I don't know what this is. Like I was like, what's that? Who's that? What's their name? What's going on? Like I was really confused the whole time.
Yeah.
So it made me feel very alienated.
That's what I see. I didn't even feel that confused. I just didn't give a fuck.
Well, okay, maybe I was trying harder to care.
What were we supposed to care about?
Well, I'm just saying there was a lot getting thrown at you.
I guess.
Right? Like from the get, way too many characters, way too many plot lines. Nothing was like fully realized as far as characters or whatever. Like it was like, oh, we'll have a main guy, but also a main girl who might be his love interest, but he's gonna have a best friend, and don't worry, she's gonna have a sister, and they're gonna be love interests.
Right.
But there's also a bad guy who's maybe bad, maybe good, but don't forget there's also the Salem witch trials plot with 3 other characters.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Am I forgetting anyone?
Yes.
There was more.
I feel like there was someone else. Well, there were the kids.
That was the Crucible.
Right.
This movie's also the Crucible.
Right.
I wanted to see more of that, honestly.
I wanted to see more of one thing.
Fleshed out. I wanted to see more of one thing.
It was like...
That's a great way to talk about it. Because I was like, well, it starts and the credits are nauseating. Remember,
oh my god.
There's all these newspaper clippings and I was genuinely trying to read them. Even to just catch it, like a, oh, that's the point of that. And it was like, oh god, oh my gosh, oh my god, what's happening?
I was nauseous in this whole film. I thought this movie was so boring. I was so bored.
It was really boring.
I was like, okay, if this is what Harry Potter is like, then I was right in staying the fuck away.
It's not. I'm going to say 45 minutes in, for me, the movie started. Because it was a lot of like, this character and that character, and they're here, and they're doing this, and we're only going to show you fragments, and da-da-da-da-da. The second that Eddie Redmayne and, what's-his-face, sidekick guy.
Sure.
Whose name is something. He's the guy from Take Me Home Tonight. Whose name is Fogel. John Fogel? Something Fogel.
Maybe.
Something Fogel. Anyway, the second that they go into his suitcase, I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this. It seemed like Eddie Redmayne woke up and joined the movie at that point. Because the whole first 40, I was like, he's this meek sort of like,
yeah.
Oh. I mean, he's doing his classic head down, look up. Who, me? What? Oh, I don't know.
Okay, wait. I'm just gonna go out and say it. Eddie Redmayne cannot act, and he certainly cannot carry a movie.
He's got that one thing that he does that I don't like.
I don't like.
But the whole time he's just like, oh, me? Oh, I don't know.
I'm just a wizard.
And not really saying much. And I was like, what's happening? The second he was interacting with his animals, I was like, oh,
right.
You've joined the cast.
Right. The problem was the other girl. Who was she?
You know who she is? She was the chick from Inherent Vice on the couch with the, I talk like a baby.
Oh, I vaguely remember that. She was terrible.
The main girl?
Yeah.
Well, she also had one look which was quivering sadness.
She was awful. Like, I really disliked her. The only person that I really kind of liked was the, like, silly, weird sister that was,
the
like...
sassy, sexy sister who
right?
was, like, up for it. She was just like, I'm game.
Right? She's like, I'm going to read your minds, and it's going to be fun. We're going to make pies. Magic.
I'm going to be flirty with magic. Like, she was just like, I'm going to have a fabulous dress because of magic. Like, she was the only one that seemed to enjoy magic. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I like you. Oh, everyone else is a bummer.
It's a bummer. And then, like, the baker guy was just kind of annoying to
Dan
me.
Fogel?
Yeah. That sounds like about right. I didn't mind him as an actor.
Right.
I just didn't like his character. It was annoying and like kind of whiny
for
the most part.
Understand. So for me, we're him, right?
Yeah.
We're the people that are being introduced to this world. So make him the lead character.
A little bit.
And have him have a destiny instead of, oh, nothing happens. Oh, he gets his mind wiped. Nothing happens.
But he opens his bakery because Eddie Redmayne gives him some silver eggshells.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What do you think that conversation was when he took the silver eggshells to the bank?
Do you think that he like had them melted down first?
I want to see that scene. How?
Because they're silver.
Where did he go?
Cash for gold, Avaryl.
That didn't exist in the 1920s.
Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
What world are we in?
We're in the world, but
there's magic and wizards.
But we don't know about it because we're muggles or non-mages.
Oh, the non-match thing. If she said fucking non-match one more time, I was gonna be like, girl, stop.
The no magic.
The what?
No magic. The non-wizard.
Sorry, we call them muggles.
Stop. I will say, I was really proud of myself. Muggle was like the one term I knew from Harry Potter, and it was like, that's the only one I needed to know.
Well, they were like, but we're not going to talk about that because we have all new slang because we're American wizards. And I was like, oh no, I knew all the English stuff. It was definitely like I needed a handbook. I couldn't get a grasp on anyone's name.
Oh, I don't care.
I was having a real hard time with his name, which was Newt.
Newt Scamander.
His name was I don't care. And the other guy's name was I don't care.
Jacob Kowalski.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Yeah, Kowalski.
Hey, Stella!
This movie just really beat me down, you guys. I could not.
It's weird. On the surface, there's a lot of things I liked. The idea of how do we do more Harry Potter-esque movies? Oh, wouldn't it be cool to just set it in a different country and what are their wizarding rules?
Right.
The idea of that is interesting to me.
Sure.
The movie wasn't. Because the whole Samantha Morton, Ezra Miller Crucible plot was interesting.
Sure.
But it was so chopped. Like, then make Ezra Miller the main character. It seemed like everyone was the main character, so no one was the main character.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I would think that, like, wouldn't you want to just find, like, the American Harry Potter? Like, the Harvard boy of wizardry?
Sure.
And follow that story and those characters? Instead of, like, this grown-ass man who's, like, kind of a wreck, and he's, like, chasing over New York City trying to collect his little animal trinkets that, like, don't really play into anything that we know about, and there's all of these shady figures that rule everything, but they don't really have any personalities.
So much happening in this movie.
A lot.
It was like, he has a zoo, the zoo has escaped. She knows about the Crucible people.
Right, but she has been shunned from leadership.
Colin Farrell's in this movie with his best Winter's Tale haircut. And I was very excited. I was like,
very excited.
Yay. You're here. You're age appropriate.
But he was terrible.
But he was not great. Okay, I also have a question. Was him, spoilers, was him being the villain supposed to be a surprise? Not the big surprise, which we'll get to.
Okay.
But him being a bad guy. Was that in any way a surprise to you?
Not to me.
Literally from the first moment we see him, I thought, oh, he's the villain. He's causing this to happen. And then it was like, no, we were supposed to be like, what? At the end, like, what? They kept waiting and waiting and waiting till the final scene to be like, he's the villain. And I was like, I know.
I think what it was is perhaps like because it's taken from a book that's supposed to...
It's not.
Oh, that's right. She wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't think that she's a screenplay writer. But so it wasn't a book, but she wrote a book.
It was like a play.
They've released a book though.
But it's like written like a screenplay. It's not like, because I've tried to go buy it because I was like, oh, a new J.K. Rowling book, and then I was like, why is this like a script? What's happening? like, I don't want this.
Also, I guess, like, if Eddie Redmayne is supposed to be our, like, protagonist through this series of 5 films, then, like, I would have liked to have a more succinct and whatever introduction to who he is and why we give a fuck about him.
Like, why wasn't it, oh, he's an expert in fantastical beasts, so we should really call him and he should come over and he should help us with this fantastical beast that's terrorizing New York. Cool, he can be a consultant. Oh,
right?
What? He also has a zoo? Wacky!
So then we're like, yes, Eddie Redmayne to the rescue.
We can have the, like, Ace Ventura gets home to his apartment and all the animals are everywhere scene. I'm into it. Penguins coming out of the toilet? Yes. I love it. I know there's a seal in the toilet. Penguins come out of the doggy door in the fridge. Love it. Every time I see Eddie Redmayne these days, I kind of wish he was replaced with Ben Whishaw.
Yeah.
I'm always like, no, I like him better.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
He's that same, like, thin, British, little bit fey, pretty cute, you know, like, nerdy thing happening.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like,
Ben Whishaw. Swapsies.
Wouldn't that have been cute?
Yeah.
If he was
I
the
would
guy
like
in
that.
it?
I would like that.
Yeah.
You know what else is, like, I much would have preferred Benedict Cumberbatch in this role than Doctor Strange.
Totally. I mean, I think maybe he would have been too old, but I mean, you could age
Does
them
it
all.
matter?
I don't know. Do you know who was possibly going to play the Dan Fogel character? Michael Cera.
Oh, God.
It would have been horrible.
Horrible.
So horrible.
He's
Can we
better.
talk about the big twist?
Yeah, so spoiler alert.
Colin Farrell is like they figure out that he's bad and they've put him in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
Eddie Redmayne is like, he uses like some animal handcuffs. He's like,
Okay.
oh, good thing my
This is
lucky
my, like, pterodactyl
grasshopper that turns into a
soggy pterodactyl puts him in cuffs, and then he does like, you know, reveal him or something like that, and he starts to change into a different person, and I went, oh my god,
Oh my
that
God,
fucking
wait,
Johnny Depp? It was Johnny Depp! Did you forget?
I forgot it was a fat Johnny Depp.
He was like I was like, wait a minute, oh my god, is that Johnny Depp? But he looks like, sort of like some cross between like David Lynch and David Bowie and like an albino, and it was weird. And then Johnny Depp was there, and you were like, what the fuck is this? And he was the big bad guy whose name started with a G, and I don't remember what it was.
Gilgamesh, no.
That's wrong. Gargamel?
Gilgamesh.
Something with a G.
Yep. Who had
Oh.
vanished.
He was the big bad Voldemort.
Right. Who wanted to try and take over the world with magic, I guess? I don't know.
Maybe
None of it was clear.
if I could have read those newspapers at the beginning, I would have found out. It was way too fast.
I really wish, okay, can
Yeah.
we please just fix this movie?
Okay.
Okay. Here's what needed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, you start off
Yeah.
with something really bad happening.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
led by Johnny Depp. Please, never let it be Johnny Depp. Stop this. Whatever the villain character is, right?
Yeah.
That's the opening scene, is like something really bad happening,
Yeah.
led by this guy, and they're like, we got you!
Yeah.
Right? And then he just poofs and disappears. And you're like, oh god, where'd he go?
Yeah.
And then it's like headlines, newspapers, like in the wizarding world,
Yeah.
like,
Where is he?
you know, and the newspaper gets delivered on top of 28 back copies that are sitting on Eddie Redmayne's store because he doesn't read the newspaper because ain't got time for
Sure.
that. He's taking care of his animals.
He's
and
busy
he's
with
a
his
recluse
animals.
who takes care of his animals.
Love
and
it.
we like are introduced to him and his
And then
animals
guess
and his
what?
like menagerie of animals.
Knock, knock, knock.
So
Tina the wizard who's trying to figure out what this monster is. Excuse me.
she goes against the rules. There's like a whole meeting, right?
Yes.
And they're like, she's like, but like we have to figure out it's an animal or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, shut up, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, oh, I have to go out and go rogue. So then she goes and finds Eddie Redmayne and is like, you have to help me. And he's like, but who are you? I don't deal well with people.
He's like, there's like a funny sort of wizarding like peephole, right? And
Exactly,
he's
yes.
just like,
it's like an
"Woo!"
eyeball that like sticks out in some
Something
stupid
fabulous.
shit. Yes. And so then...
I'm already into this movie.
So then...
I'm all in on this movie.
I need your help. I need your help. And he's like, oh, okay, let's figure out what's going on. What's this thing?
Yeah.
And then it turns out, maybe even I'll give you the Crucible plot line.
It was really weird.
I'd like to just scrap that. But
so weird.
But maybe let's say that like there's this wonderkind.
Yes.
Wunderkinder.
Yes.
That is being raised by this...
Harry Potter living under the stairs at the Dursleys. Like,
yeah, this orphanage. I don't know what that is, but...
It's stuff from Harry Potter.
Yeah, this woman who's adopted...
Can I have some more? No, fuck you. You're a wizard. Something, like some sort of conversion therapy.
Yes!
Like allegory.
Yes!
Cool, I'm in.
Yes! Right, so that conversion therapy allegory is going on, and we're like, no, the poor guy, just let him be a wizard. He's born that way. And then Colin Farrell is like, maybe he's the evil, like, orphanage, Miss Hannigan. You have Miss Hannigan.
Yes.
And you have poor little orphan Annie Wizard. And he's like, oh, I just want to be a wizard. She's like, no, fuck you. Conversion therapy, electroshock, like Mike Pence.
Like, get serious. Like, I wanted that plot to go way darker.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah.
Colin Farrell comes in as like this do-gooder homeless man on the side, right? But he's not. Right, so this whole time you think he's trying to save this poor kid, but really he's trying to take advantage of him for his powers.
Which is what they were trying to do, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
From the moment they were talking, I was like, oh no, don't trust him.
Exactly. But instead he should have been like some older man or like whatever. Someone who's like less, and you're just like, oh, he's just like his friend and like, whatever.
Yeah.
They have like a homeless meal in the park or something. I don't know.
He's Cap Calloway in the Blues Brothers. He's
sure.
like living in the basement of the orphanage. He's his friend.
Or he's like the Dove Lady in Home Alone 2. I don't know.
There's a lot of archetypes.
Sure. So then...
Yes.
Like, this whole time you're rooting for them, you're like, oh, he's gonna help you get away from Miss Hannigan, But instead, he turns out he double-crosses him and tries to manipulate him.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my god, Eddie Redmayne, we need you and your new love interest to, like, help us save the day by using your animals who have all of these different purposes.
Sure.
And, like, you've already been teaching us and her, because you want to teach her about the things that you love, about what they do.
Yeah.
Go save the day, and then they do.
Yeah.
And then the movie's over.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, great, can't wait for the next time when you guys save the day.
Yep.
Movie fixed. You're welcome.
I love that, like, literally the sister and the baker characters...
Who needs that?
Throw them away. Even though in this movie,
they were the best part. This movie was awful.
It was not good.
I mean...
It wasn't, like, garbage. It wasn't, like, the worst thing. It was just real boring, real convoluted, not good.
That's what made it worse for me.
Yeah.
Like, at least if someone was sexed to death, then I could enjoy it for, like, what it was.
Oh, I mean, I much more enjoyed A Winter's Tale.
Right?
I mean...
So it's like...
The ice refreezes under her feet when she slows down her heart.
I don't know. I would not recommend it at all.
I mean, I know a lot of people that liked it, that just, I don't know.
I mean, I guess like if that's your thing, if you really like the wizarding world of Harry Potter and whatever.
It's weird, because I do like Harry Potter, and I was like, this is complicated and boring.
Right.
How did you manage this? There were so many scenes where I was just like, this is unnecessary.
Right?
Why is this scene happening?
So many scenes of, like, animals that I was so underwhelmed by.
Oh my god. We didn't talk about...
The rhinoceros mating scene?
The mating dance! That was the best! That was the best part of the movie. That was when the movie realized what it was.
I guess.
For 5 minutes and then reverted back to not knowing. When Eddie Redmayne is like...
Oh wait, that.
What did you think I was talking about?
I thought you meant like the later part where the rhino chases him.
No, I didn't give a fuck about that. No, when Eddie Redmayne's like doing his like sexy rhino dance and like grunting and like doing a bit.
Yes.
That was the best part of the movie.
Absolutely. You know what this movie needed a lot more of?
Gary Oldman.
Sure. Yes.
Always.
But also some more like Jurassic Park, like, oh, I'm a scientist that knows all about these animals. And then, like, oh, God, shit goes down.
Like, why was it that 45 minutes in, I understood Eddie Redmayne's passion and character?
Because it was bad writing.
Like, I wanted him to be like, oh, that's this animal, and we can use his blow dart poison for this kind of thing. Like, I wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
I wanted to know about all this stuff.
Go gadget, magic animal.
Oh my god. Yes. And he's in this trench coat and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god. I just realized that we completely forgot about the other plot that happened in the movie.
Wait, which one is this?
The Citizen Kane newspaper plot with John Voight.
Oh.
Which was also 100% unnecessary.
180% unnecessary. What the fuck?
I forgot that happened.
Was it just so that we could find out that, like, he was mean to the kids and then the kid killed him through, like, the magical rage?
Wow, who cares?
Wow, who cares? Wait a second, can we go back because I really like this idea in my fixed version.
Sure.
So instead of the suitcase, which was really annoying.
I loved, this is a Harry Potter thing. They do this thing where it's like, it's a small thing, but it fits everything in the world. Like, everyone has Mary Poppins bags.
Oh yeah, no, I love that idea.
Loved that.
But here's what I want.
Yeah.
I want him, because like I was going off the go-go gadget, like magical animal thing. I love the idea of just like a magic trench coat.
Yeah.
Where he like goes into his pocket and pulls out whatever animal
And
it
he has
is.
just never-ending pockets.
It's a Mary Poppins pocket.
Yeah.
And maybe there's like 6 of them, right? Maybe it's like categorized into animals.
Sure.
I don't care. Because I kept being like, oh no, like the suitcases got mixed up. And you're like, that's so stupid.
Oh no, they got mixed up again. Oh no, there's another suitcase.
Oh no, we forgot the
Yeah.
suitcase.
I just felt like I needed him to be better at everything he did.
Absolutely.
He was better
At least
being
at
a
one
wizard.
thing.
At
Be
one
good
thing.
at one thing.
Be really good at telling people about these animals and utilizing them for your advantage, and that's why you're so rad and you're our main character.
Exactly.
Because it was really just that one stick insect that turned into like a pterodactyl that was
Thing.
helpful.
Right.
Remember that whole scene where they have to find the teapot because there's like a big old dragon? That didn't need to happen.
It didn't need to happen.
Like, let me really think about this. Did that scene cause or affect anything?
Nope.
Can we talk about how at the end, Dan Fogel finally has his bakery and all of his pastries are shaped like really fucking ugly, unattractive, magical beasts?
Yes.
And everyone's like, where do you get your ideas? And he's like, I don't know. And you're like, I wouldn't eat that. That looks gross. Why would I want like a cruller shaped like a sloth?
It was
Ooh,
just
look at this like
it,
rhino-shaped strudel. No.
It was just
I don't want it.
It was just supposed to show that he hadn't fully lost his memory.
Who cared? I don't know. I wish it had been more concise.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Like, the thing is, like, I much preferred The Golden Compass to this movie.
Because The Golden Compass is a great movie, and I'm mad they're not making the other two.
Right?
Because the books are really good. I'm genuinely mad.
I think they're gonna learn their lesson, and they're gonna give her a co-writer.
Like, I'm down for there to be more stories within the world of Harry Potter's wizard world.
Sure.
I'm totally down for that.
Sure.
This was a misstep.
It was a horrible, awful misstep. I think the thing is just that she doesn't know how to write a screenplay. And
Well, yeah, she
they
tried to
didn't give her
put
any help.
Everything. Well,
They're like,
yeah.
oh, you're used to writing books, and you didn't write any of the screenplays for the movies, and now we're gonna be like, hey, yeah, sure, you can write a movie. And it's like, no, but it's like totes different.
Yeah. It seemed like no one told her no.
Yeah.
And that was a disservice.
It was.
So
It was.
maybe if you like Harry Potter, but I thought it was pretty boring.
I thought it was really fucking boring. I really did not like this movie.
Yeah. I got it.
I'm sorry.
But that Eddie Redmayne mating dance, though.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
The only time I laughed in this movie.